The top 10% of men, cut that in half.
No, I already know.
Right.
You're speaking to somebody who literally has absolutely no problem being single for the rest of my life.
Okay, so that's the issue. Like, do you understand that
Red flag.
Red flag.
Right, but didn't you say I was a red flag for being single at 40? Did I just say that?
Real money cares if she's a gold digger. They just don't. Listen, if a man asks you what you bring to the table, that man has a low credit score. Listen, you should say that you're a gold digger. You should tell people. You should lead with that. Women should be gold diggers. Women should look for a provider. What's wrong with that?
That is a man that loves women.
Yes.
Huh?
That is a man that truly loves women.
and
And you know how he got started? He was a pickup artist. Sorry, that's how he got started.
But you know what?
But he was making content just like us.
Even if
and then he
that's
started
true,
doing that, and he got
it
popular
works.
and which is what I've been saying
We
forever.
love him.
He is just so much smarter than me. I can't.
Yeah, just
I hold
don't
people
fight with
accountable.
us, bro.
I am stupid. What he's doing is incredibly smart. Like, it's unbelievable. Who here? Anybody have any comments about Russell's content? Who here thinks he's completely right about this, and who here takes this with a grain of salt? He's just being a little toxic.
I think
to be
he's
funny.
completely right.
I think he's right.
You think he's completely right?
I
Yeah.
do, because I've lived all the things that he talks about. Like, I literally will tell men, like, I only like men with high net and like high net worths. And then they either like filter themselves out or they just give me whatever I want. It's great. And they give the lifestyle that I want to live. And that's the type of man that I want.
What could it possibly start with genuine desire, and then you find out that he has a high net worth?
Absolutely. Like, I don't want a man
That doesn't really seem like you're allowing for that.
I don't want a man that like I don't like. I want a man that I vibe with, a man that I can talk with every single day, a man that I respect. Like, I have to respect that man. Otherwise, all the money in the world, it means absolutely nothing to me. But everything that he's talking about, saying like, women, tell men what you want, it's exactly true, because any man that actually values a woman will give her everything that she wants.
Agreed, but the problem is, if I'm a man and I want genuine desire, and you're opening with "I need you to have this much money,"
No,
Yeah, you could be
running the other
This
direction.
works though.
You could be
don't
saying no
need
to
it
so
with
many
it.
women,
There's
so many
ways to
men.
already know.
hold up,
There's ways to
go.
Yeah,
already know.
you could say no to so many men in a day that you may miss out on the man you were supposed to be with because
at a
of
mailbox,
Never Cry Wolf.
Bro.
No, because
We
if I
can get
missed out
dick
on him, I wasn't
picking up our
supposed to be
meal.
with him.
Like, somebody's
I mean,
gonna
so
get
I
dick out.
What
But, like-
happens when it's game over? There comes a point where a woman can no longer have children if that's what she wants, right? So there is a time limit that is, slowly but, surely ticking. And you could be pricing yourself out of the game by not saying yes to someone, thinking it's always going to be there for you as an option to pick and choose until you can no longer pick and choose.
I have a question.
Before Lauren goes on a diatribe for 15 minutes, Katarina, listen to me. I'm telling you this. You're an attractive woman. You're going to have your pick of men, but I want you to consider a couple of things, okay? How much does the guy need to make for you to be financially viable?
I mean, that's relative, but it's like I want somebody that I can enjoy traveling with around the world. I don't want to stay in a
But
hostel.
he needs to be able to
for, like,
take
low budget, like
no low budget
hotels.
stuff. So it's more than $100,000 a year, right?
Yes,
It's way more than
absolutely.
that. Okay,
and that's
cool.
the only type of men that I've ever like
Got
really
it.
truly
Okay,
dated.
so the top 10% of men make $134,000 a year. So
Okay.
you've discluded 90% of men. In reality,
I don't have problems finding them.
okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. Are you married to one?
No, but that's a personal choice.
Okay. Number two, do you have height preferences for a man?
Yes.
What is it?
Like, when you say high preferences, which direction are you going?
Like taller than you or shorter? Yeah, like what's the minimum height that you want for a guy?
I mean, I don't have like a minimum height, but like
you do.
5'9", I would say.
Okay,
5'9"
5'9".
is like minimum.
Yeah.
Like 5'9" is minimum.
Okay.
So I'm like 5'4" and a half. So
Got it.
like,
So
yeah.
that number that I said about the top 10% of men, cut that in half.
No, I already know.
Right.
You're speaking to somebody who literally has absolutely no problem being single for the rest of my life.
Okay, so that's the issue. Like, do you understand that
Red flag.
Red flag.
Right, but didn't you say I was a red flag for being single at 40? Did I just say that?
But I'm like,
That is crazy.
But I'm not 45.
Okay, but
How old are you?
So, but you
want
said
to be
single for
married,
the rest.
But
But
you
you will
want
be.
marriage.
I
You want marriage.
I want.
Right?
I want a company.
I am okay. Like, for me, marriage
How old are
is.
you right now?
Okay, so I'm 36. For me, marriage is not like an end-all, be-all. I do not want children, so that already alleviates the need to like absolutely find a mate. My clock clock is ticking. It's
And you've
not.
never been married yet.
I just don't, Katerina, I just don't understand how you can't even see that what I'm saying could be a possibility that you're pricing yourself out of the market.
Yes.
And like,
But I
you
don't care. That's the
right,
thing.
but that,
like, I'm
but
either
could
gonna get
it
what
possibly
I want,
be?
or I'm very
Could it possibly be an?
physical.
Could it possibly be an implicit bias because you can't care, because you put yourself in a position where you have to not care in order to be happy? Like you've created this bias in your mind.
I think you're trying to psychoanalyze somebody that you don't even know.
No. Again, you're correct. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying could you possibly be open to the possibility that what your standards could be too high, and then leading with the idea of money is a problem, and you're missing out on good men.
No, not at all. Because like we live in Las Vegas, there is no shortage of very wealthy men.
Sure.
You could throw a rock and you can
they're all monogamous and absolutely don't cheat. Good call.
And
Good call on that one.
Point. That's my point. So like money is not the end all be all. Like you want respect. Like there are certain things that every single woman wants. Like money is not the end all be all.
You're not going to find it on the strip.
I don't think you're open to the possibility that it could be right. Like I am aware of my own bias. I like girls with jobs. I happen to love the University of Texas at Austin, and I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. I am aware of my biases. I'm aware that I like red meat. I'm aware. Just think that maybe you might have this bias, this proclivity to say, you know what, f it. I can go the rest of my life and be single. And maybe you've created a box where you have to believe
Wait,
You're
an
like
emotional box.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not like in a box where like I have to be single, but it's like I do have very high standards, and I do look for very specific things in men, and I can quite easily like get the ick. It doesn't matter how
so
hot.
I have a compromise here. You admit that your standards are high and it may lead you to being single forever.
Yes. And
Okay,
I'm
good.
with
Then
that, though.
you're not being a
But I'm
hypocrite.
Men believe that women can love them in a certain way, okay? Yeah. Women love opportunistically, men love idealistically. So whenever we hear somebody say about men has to have all of these qualities, he's got to have this amount of money, he's got to be this tall, he's got to have all these things, he's got to love puppy dogs, my mom has to like him, he has to want to have kids in the future, he's got to have a good job, he's got to be educated from a Harvard, Ivy League university, whatever the hell it is, whatever the laundry list of prerequisites is. I'm only using the term opportunism. I know it has negative connotations, but I'm using it because it's the only term that is really applies to this right here. Once that guy has met maybe 4 or 5 of those. He doesn't have to meet every single one, but he's got to meet the top 4 or 5 of these things. Once he has, that's when women will allow themselves to be emotionally involved in that guy. The other stuff, maybe we can work on that later. But if he's got this, and this, and this are the things that I need, great. That's opportunism. Guys don't get that. That's the problem, because men's concept of love is idealistic. They believe that love should matter just for the sake of love. It's like, well, if she doesn't love me this way, or if I have to jump through all these hoops, then it's not love, because they think that love should exist just because there's an emotional connection. She has to pass the test, right? She has to be hot and she has to be available. Once we get past that, everything else is just gravy at that point.
80% of divorces are initiated by women, and that means 20% of men are.
Yeah. What's the number one precipitator of divorce? The woman starts to make more money than the guy. Talking about
infidelity.
It's a good
so
thing
we're talking about 2 different concepts of love. One is opportunistic, one is idealistic. You want to know why we have black doomers and stuff? Because they're so married to the idea that love is only about the idealistic side of it, whereas women are involved in the opportunistic, and you have to at least have these prerequisites before I will allow myself to have an emotional
because there's the safety about that.
But if women aren't idealistic, then what is like the whole idea of like I can change him? Like that's like living in a fantasy of
opportunistic. This is why guys will say, especially Western women, they're not feminine, they're not submissive. I'm going to go to the Philippines and I'm going to find me some nice country girl from the back country, and I'm going to settle down with this nice one, worships the ground I walk on. Because why? Because of the socioeconomic differences that are going on in a third world country as compared to a first world country. Because women's love opportunistically. If I go and I step off the plane in Quezon City, or if I go to Manila or whatever, and I'm walking around there, I'm taller than everybody. All these women want to get with me. Why? Because it's a socioeconomic thing. It's not about the fact that they're submissive and everything else. It's the fact that you are the pimp daddy when you walk off the plane, because you just stepped off the plane in a third world country.
The other part is
that's why passport bros love being
the other part, what Mystery was talking about earlier, which is the concept of like those feelings inside of you.
Right.
You don't know. They're just having the feelings. You're just experiencing life as a woman. You aren't like looking at these things and be like, well, evolutionarily, I want this man who looks like this.
Change your mood, not her mind.
Experiencing life
There's
as
a
a
reason
woman
why I
as a
don't want
human
a small
being.
man, and it's because I want to be with a man man who feels like that I feel like can actually like protect me in a dangerous situation.
Why do you think you want that though? You think that's your own free will?
No, I literally agreed with you just now.
Cool.
I'm not always combative.
There are evolutionary things that are, to be honest.
There is nothing but evolutionary things.
You know what? It's funny
There is
because
no exception to this.
If it was 3 years ago, I would have argued, no, it's all about. And I'm like, no, actually, now that I'm looking at it, like being even with that mess, I want to know that if I'm dating a guy, is he gonna be able to take care of me when I get sick?
Yes.
Like,
Problem is, don't think that you came up with that idea.
I
on your own.
didn't.
Your ancestors are an unbroken blockchain of DNA that goes back 200,000 years, where every woman successfully reproduced, and they did so because they understood men who are stronger, who could protect me and provide for me, and less likely to abandon the child.
so I'm starting to understand that now as an adult. I didn't understand that when I was younger at all. I was the one person that was like, oh, I'm gonna just love for love, but I'm like, oh my god, but what if you get sick and and nobody can help you? Like, you want the man to
will leave
to help you, at least, like, to take you out of work.
That makes sense. Listen,
The man typically leaves in those situations.
Just so we understand, if I had a daughter, I would not want her to be with a broke man.
Correct.
I agree with that part. But the problem is, I wouldn't want my daughter to be like, yeah, daddy, so I'm having them just check out to see which one has the nicest car so that I can figure out. I was like, no.
Correct.
Because now you're getting into a relationship where you did not begin with genuine desire, which will lead to divorce. And even if it's her decision to get divorced, I would prefer to not have my daughter ever get divorced.
Correct.
But daddy, I love him.
Is that not?
Daddy, I love him, exactly.
Then you run into the Lana Del Rey conundrum, which is she married the guy who's like the airboat captain guy. That guy will never, his entire life, make the kind of money that Lana Del Rey has already made, but yet she's decided that she's, you know what, I'm richer than any motherfucker I could ever get with. Is she lowering her standards? Is she lowering her standards by getting with the crocodile guy?
Different standards.
It depends on like how the guys with money treated her. I would love to know, but obviously we can't know. I would be curious because what if she's like, I'm fed up with these types of dudes and I'm just going to marry.
So
what made her run?
At some point, she's got to say, I have to put all of my money aside, and I have to fall in love with this guy
Maybe somebody
for
died in
some
her
other
life.
reason. What is that other reason? Is it because he's dominant? He's a fucking alligator wrestler, for Christ's sake, you know? The guy's, yeah.
Honestly,
so
that's
maybe
hot.
it's the dominance.
Maybe
there's
it's
some.
because he's dangerous,
So-
so
It's
he's
not
hot.
There's
So you
nothing
get-
I think it's hot.
at all. There's
Wait,
nothing hot
a
about it.
hot alligator wrestler
No.
versus
That redneck as and I don't think it's
okay,
hot at all.
because
I'm sure
you
it's attractive
might.
to someone somewhere. I'm not.
You're
Yeah.
not-
Lana Del Rey thought
Can I
so.
explain?
Okay.
Okay, so you come from LA. And you have guys who are like, we have the sushi that's made for us. And like, it's like, everything's made for you. And then you go down to alligator country and he's like, bitch, I be fucking frying up these yellowtails we're on the side of this boat. Like, I mean,
Okay,
this is
Trina,
a totally different,
Competence.
like,
Trina, we've lost you here.
competence.
We lost
No,
you.
no,
Competence.
I've got what she's
Myself.
saying. She's
Like-
saying that she would rather choose a man that can provide just
For his
being out in the wild versus a man that needs to go get sushi
Yes.
down the street.
So, Lana
like,
Del Rey-
it's a big difference in a man of what he can provide. Like, in an apocalypse, you want the alligator wrestler.
Yes.
You
Yes.
don't want the man
Yes,
in the
you do.
Lamborghini because he's useless.
He's nothing.
Yes.
Got
Shout out
it.
to all the useless men out there.